Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending the Lanracorp virtual job fair event. I would like to introduce you to Sarah. Sarah will tell you about her company, job openings, and how to go about applying for those openings. Sarah, are you available to present?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic.
Okay, well, good. I guess it's still good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah. I am the HR manager with Lanracorp. Lanracorp, our company, is based out of Southern Illinois. Our home office is in Brownstown. And what we do is we have contracts with pipeline companies, mainly gas pipeline companies, to go out and clear their right-of-ways, which is basically where their pipes are buried underground. They have to have clear access from the sky to the ground where their pipes are located as federal mandated. So we have crews that are traveling out to these locations that are clearing off overgrown brush, using a skid steer with a beacon in the front to help clear everything, chainsaws cutting down trees. We have what we call, it's a giraffe. It's a very tractor with an extended arm and a circular saw on the end to help cut down any kind of limbs that are growing like a canopy over the right of way. So that's basically the gist of our work. We do some spray work. So anybody that has had experience, gotten their applicator's license to the state. We do also go around and maintain distribution centers, I think is what they're, I can't even think of the name, but just vegetation management, killing down weeds, everything like that. We actually just opened a sister shop out in Toledo, Ohio this year. So we're expanding and growing more eastward. The positions that we are currently hiring for does require traveling. We would have anybody that we bring on board in the area come to our shop and travel out with their team in a company truck to wherever the projects are. Currently, we have projects in some local here in Southern Illinois, but we also have some in Philadelphia, near the Toledo, Ohio area, Lansing, Michigan, Kalamazoo, and Detroit in Michigan as well. That's not limited though, as far as locations where we may have future projects. We're pretty open to anywhere within the continental United States of our future work. So basically right now we are hiring anybody, a range of people, anybody that is interested in getting into this line of work or forestry work in general, to people who are experienced veterans that just love the job and want to keep learning and growing. We do have, we're refining what we call our apprenticeship program, where we're having clear steps as far as starting even from the very basic entry level of someone in this line of work, going all the way up to foreman. Right now, like I said, we're hiring a variety of people with experience. We're needing groundsmen, anybody with operating experience with a giraffe, sky trim, or skid steer, and leadership experience, because we are hiring foremen as well. That's basically just what we're recruiting for at the moment. Anybody with a CDL, especially Class A CDL, we do pay at a higher pay rate for them because we do haul a majority of our equipment to our projects. We also pay at a higher pay rate for anybody that has their applicator's license or obtains their applicator's license. Just trying to think of all the other things that we are currently looking for and needing. It is full-time work. We do have a lot of work that has kept our guys busy all year round. I will be honest, during the holidays, at the end of the year, it does slow down just because customers don't just want to have the time off and shut everything down for those couple of weeks at the end of the year, beginning January time. But we tend to hit the ground running shortly afterwards. So like I said, a lot of work. We do offer weekly payroll. Some of our benefits that we offer: medical, vision, dental. We have an IRA that we offer up to, or match up to 3%. We offer paid time off. And that's basically the benefits that I can think of off the top of my head here on the spot. And yeah, like I said, we're working on our program too, to help anybody that is just getting into this to get the training and instruction they need to be able to advance and move up in positions with our company. So that's basically it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. And again, I just want to reiterate for folks that might be tuning in through our various streaming platforms. If you do have any questions for Sarah, feel free to enter those into the chat. I'll be monitoring that and, of course, relay those questions to Sarah to be able to give her an opportunity to answer those for you. Sarah, in the meantime, while we wait for any of those questions to come in, I do have a few questions that I'd like to go ahead and ask you if that's okay.
Sure.
Excellent. Sarah, can you kind of elaborate maybe on how long the hiring process will take from the point of submitting application to actually being extended that formal offer for hire?
I would say the maximum length might be a week. Normally what happens is I get the application, or you can send us your resume. I do a screening process with you over the phone, or if you would like to come in person, that works too. If you do come in person, we do the next step kind of right then and there if our project manager is available, and we do the second interview where the discussion as far as where he thinks what project location you may be going to work at, what job position we'd be offering to you, and also pay rate would be discussed. After that, we send an email offer letter for applicants to sign if they wish to accept. And then after that, I would say once the exception has been notified to us, we begin the onboarding process, which we give 2 weeks, just normally to give everybody time to obviously turn in their 2 weeks to their current employer. But we also use that time to get any of the online safety training as required by our customers to be completed. If anybody doesn't have access to a computer and Wi-Fi, we welcome them to be able to come to our office and work on the training here, as we actually just built on a nice training room. So that's available for anybody that we bring on board. There's also, we do have to have drug and alcohol tests completed, as well as DOT physical, as our employees will be driving company trucks, and they just have to have that certificate in hand when they're driving them.
Really understand. Thank you for that, Sarah.
Mhm.
Next question I do have for you. Is there any sort of minimum educational requirements that folks need to possess to be able to apply for the positions that you covered here today?
We do require that you at least have a high school degree, that you're just able to obviously read and write, and do simple arithmetic if needed.
Excellent. And the next question that I do have for you is, would you consider the organization to be kind of friendly towards maybe like second chance initiatives? So we get a lot of folks that come on the events and they want to know that question. So I want to pose that to you and kind of see what you have to say on that topic.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have our doors. I mean, we do hire employees that may have a history. Obviously, with some of our customers, they require background checks to be done. I would say very little, if any, require to have certain specifications as far as who can be working on their projects. But for the most part, we are always welcoming people to apply that have a history. It's the biggest thing though is just making sure that you have a valid driver's license. As I said before, employees, sorry, my phone's going off. Employees will be driving a company truck. And also that they have a very low point total for their driving record as well.
Completely understand. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. And the next question that I do have for you is another one that tends to come up on the events that I host quite a bit. And that is there any sort of maybe information from your point as a hiring manager that you might want to share with folks that might kind of help them into that next step phase in the process of hiring? So what I mean by that, is there any tips, tricks, pointers, maybe things folks should highlight in a resume, or maybe an initial conversation with you, or maybe other folks that work with you, that might help them advance the next stage in the process?
That's a good question. I don't want to say experience, although it is a bonus. It's not necessarily something required. Like I said, we are willing to take anybody that is brand new to this, as long as you have the willingness to learn. Really, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would help push anyone, through the process or catch our attention better than just the willingness to work and learn if you're new to this.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that, Sarah.
Mhm.
And Sarah, another question that I do have for you, again, kind of another straightforward question, but again, if folks have any questions when they're filling out their applications, what would be the best way to go about getting their questions answered? Would it be to reach out to maybe you directly? Is there a general info at email, maybe a form that you have on your website? What's the best process for getting questions answered?
I would say send me an email, which is, I can actually share it here with everybody, but it's hr@lanracorp.com, LANRACORP.com. Shoot me an email. I'm constantly checking it all the time, so I will always do my best to get back and answer any questions that anybody sends me fairly quickly, I'd say.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. The final question that I do have for you before we kind of begin our wrap up for today's session is, what are the opportunities for advancement at Lanracorp? And are there maybe any success stories that you'd like to share with folks that are tuning in or will be tuning in at a later date?
Man, a good success story, because we've had a couple of them, so I'm trying to pinpoint. We've had guys that have come in here that are brand new to the process or have some experience, and they worked their way up from a groundsman. They've gotten their time operating the heavy machinery, moving their way up to what we call operators. And from there, we do have our training program and specific details as far as what you need to do in order to obtain that next level and moving up. And we've had one that he started, I think, as basically an operator, and this was back towards the beginning of our time, and he worked his way up, and actually he was offered a position elsewhere, so he left us for some time. But he was that good of an operator, that good of a co-worker, a followable leader, that we sought him back out. And once we were able to create this new position, which is what we call project supervisor, and we had him come, we were fortunate to get him to come back and join us. And he's now, like I said, started as an operator, worked his way up to foreman, and now actually oversees a couple of projects and has a couple of foremen underneath of him. So yeah, we've had a couple of stories similar to that one.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you do have any questions for Sarah, kind of use this as a last call. Feel free to enter those into the chat. If not, Sarah, in the meantime, while we're waiting for any last minute questions to come in, I would like to, of course, turn things back over to you to give kind of a summary statement, concluding remarks, maybe final takeaway for folks that are tuning in or will be tuning in at a later date.
Yeah, so like I said, we're always willing to take anybody that is new to this and would like to get experience working in the great outdoors. I think that's one big bonus about our job here, or jobs that we have here, is you are outside. It's not a simple, mundane, day-to-day operation. It's going to be different throughout, as every day when you're working on a project. If you have a record, if you have a history, we could still bring you on board, quite possibly. It's something that we're willing to work with anybody over. And yeah, we have our advancement path and how you can move up in the company clearly outlined. We're working on our mentorship program as far as those with experience, helping those that are just new to advance and learn more and get more experience out of this work that we do. And yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Sarah, for carving time out of your schedule to meet with us today, of course, and to present all the information that you did. Again, to the job seekers who are tuning in or will be tuning in, again, we have recorded these sessions, so we will be posting it to the Illinois workNet YouTube channel under the Virtual Job Fairs playlist within 48 hours to the conclusion of this event. So if there's any information you want to go back over that maybe Sarah covered or was covered during the Q&A portion, feel free to reference that. And then last but not least, as Sarah provided, she did provide her email address. So feel free to reach out to her directly with any questions that you do have as well before or while you're filling out those applications to Lanracorp. Sarah, again, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us today and presenting.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. You take care. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thanks.